High Court enforcement, also known as High Court enforcement officers, is a legal process used to recover debts and enforce court orders. It is a powerful tool available to creditors, but it can also be complicated and confusing for those not familiar with it. In this blog, we will take a closer look at the ins and outs of High Court enforcement and how it can be used effectively. What is High Court enforcement? High Court enforcement is a process that allows a creditor to recover money owed to them by enforcing a court judgment. It is used when other methods of debt recovery, such as sending letters or using bailiffs, have been unsuccessful. This process is only available for debts over £600 and can be used for both personal and business debts. The process begins with the creditor obtaining a judgment in their favour from the county court or high court. This judgment gives the creditor the legal right to collect the debt from the debtor. If the debtor does not pay the debt voluntarily, the creditor can then apply for a writ of control, which authorizes a High Court enforcement officer to take control of the debtor's goods and assets. The role of High Court enforcement officers. High Court enforcement officers are authorized by the Ministry of Justice to enforce High Court judgments. They are independent contractors who work on behalf of the creditor to recover the debt. Unlike bailiffs, HCEOs have more power and can enforce judgments in both commercial and residential properties. HCEOs have the authority to enter a debtor's premises, seize goods and sell them at auction to recover the debt. They also have the power to freeze bank accounts and take possession of vehicles and other assets. However, before taking any action, HCEOs must provide notice to the debtor about their intention to enforce the judgment. High Court enforcement is an effective way for creditors to recover debts that have been outstanding for a long time. It is a faster and more efficient process compared to other debt collection methods. Here are some of the benefits of High Court enforcement. High success rate. High Court enforcement has a higher success rate compared to other methods of debt collection. This is because High Court enforcement officers, or HCEOs, have more power and authority to enforce the judgment, making it difficult for debtors to ignore their obligations. Speed. High Court enforcement is a speedy process, with HCEOs usually taking action within a few days of receiving the writ of control. This means that creditors can receive their money quickly and avoid further delays in collecting the debt. Professionalism. HCEOs are highly trained professionals who have extensive knowledge and experience in enforcing judgments. They follow strict guidelines and regulations set by the Ministry of Justice, ensuring a fair and ethical approach to debt collection. Cost-effective High Court enforcement is a cost-effective way of recovering debts, as HCEOs work on a no-win, no-fee basis. This means that if they are unable to collect the debt, the creditor will not incur any additional costs. Flexibility. High Court enforcement offers flexibility to creditors as they can choose between different methods of debt recovery depending on the debtor's assets and financial situation. This allows for a tailored approach to each case, increasing the chances of successful debt recovery. While High Court enforcement offers many benefits, it also comes with its own set of challenges. Cost. Although High Court enforcement can be cost-effective, there are still fees associated with the process, such as court fees and HCEO fees. These fees can vary depending on the amount of debt and assets involved, making it important for creditors to understand the costs involved before proceeding with High Court enforcement. Limited success with debtors with few assets. High Court enforcement is only effective if the debtor has enough assets to cover the debt. If the debtor has few assets or is declared bankrupt, then High Court enforcement may not be the best option for debt recovery. Potential for conflict. The involvement of HCEOs in debt collection can sometimes lead to conflict between them and the debtor. This can result in legal challenges and delays in recovering the debt. However, HCEOs are trained to handle these situations professionally and minimize any potential conflicts. Reputation management. High Court enforcement can have a negative impact on the debtor's reputation, especially in cases where their assets are seized and sold at auction. This can lead to damaged relationships and future business dealings, making it important for creditors to carefully consider the consequences of High Court enforcement before proceeding. In conclusion, High Court enforcement is a powerful tool available to creditors for recovering outstanding debts. It offers a faster and more efficient way of debt collection compared to other methods, but it also comes with its own set of challenges. It is important for creditors to carefully consider all aspects before proceeding with High Court enforcement and seek professional advice if needed. At the same time, it is also crucial for debtors to take their obligations seriously and communicate with their creditors to avoid legal action. Ultimately, High Court enforcement should be seen as a last resort, with other methods of debt collection attempted first. With proper understanding and management, High Court enforcement can be used effectively to recover debts and maintain healthy financial relationships between creditors and debtors.